Look, I see my council members, Councilmember Jack Christie is here, and Councilmember David Robertson is here. I know I saw Councilmember Robert Gallegos. We're in his district. I want to thank the members of City Council for being supportive and encouraging and just pushing this project along. It does take a collective effort. As I sat there and watched the film, the video, I just said to myself, what an incredible city we happen to live in. Certainly want to acknowledge Perrin and Jim and Dean and all of them for staying true, Christian, for staying very committed. But most importantly, I want to thank the patrons and the people who have supported the arts in Houston over the years, over the decades. And I want to thank the people of the city of Houston for their support, because the reality is they too have stayed the course as we move from the Wortham over to the George R. Brown. Patrons and supporters moved with us as well, and so I want to thank them. And then I want to thank Houston in advance for what they will do as we move forward. It's one thing to return to the Wortham. The big question is whether or not people will respond over and above what has happened in the past. I think the best way to acknowledge people who have worked hard over the last year to get us back to where we are, the contractors and others, would be for the Houston community to be even more supportive now than we have ever been. I know we have an incredible team of folks at Houston First who have worked tirelessly over the past 12 months to get this magnificent venue back open. And I want to extend thanks to everyone. It's good to be back inside the Wortham. Harvey took a lot of our city, and the theater district certainly was not spared. Not going to repeat it, the basement was full of water, 12 feet of water, the damage to our electrical system. Quite frankly, when they came to me a year ago and described it, it just seemed like it was going to be an insurmountable task. We've spent over $100 million just on repairs here at the Wortham. But like we have done in the past, when we face adversity in our city, we lean on each other and work together to recover and rebuild. And quite frankly, the attitude that many of us have had, when you've seen people in our city who have been impacted, and with smiles on their faces, their spirits high, they have chosen to rebuild their homes and rebuild them higher, and they did it with the positive attitude. Certainly an attitude, if homeowners can do it, we could do the same thing in getting back in the work. Not getting back for this season simply was not an option. It was just not an option. And quite frankly, if we were not at this day, at this moment, it would simply not be Houston. I think for many of us, if not most of us, we knew we would get back, that we would be back and get ready for this season, because that's just who we are. And we believe in one another. So I want to make sure that the opera, the ballet, the Camera, Mercury Society for the Performing Arts, and all the other productions could perform on our home stage. The doors are open and the performing artists are now able to do what they do best. Connor and Jessica and all of the others, and many of them were impacted by the storm. But they are world-class performers, and they're ready to get back at it right here. This has been a difficult year for all the artists we see, as well as those who perform their crafts behind the scenes, the ones who make sure the show goes on, the stage crews, the designers, the production managers, the ushers, the security, box office staff, cleaning crews, and I probably haven't named every group, but just know that I am grateful to each and every one of you for your dedication and commitment. You have made this city very, very proud. So for those of you who are here this morning in the Wortham Theater, for those who are not here, this is another testament about who we are, and the fact that regardless of what comes our way, we find a way to pull together and make things happen. And quite frankly, if I can say this in closing, the art is not what happens on this stage. And the performance that really count is not the one that will take place here. The artistry and the performances that count are the things that Houstonians do in our city each and every day. Every day in this city, there's a ballet performance. And every day, people show up on time and they perform. What happens on this stage is just a small piece of what takes place within the 640 square miles of the city of Houston. And every day, the show goes on and people perform, and every day some kid, some child, someplace in our city see us at our very best. The art that exists in our city is a reflection of who we are. And that's why it's so important for the Wortham to come open on time, for the performances to take place, because through these performances, it infuses a great deal of hope and aspiration and inspiration into the people in this city of Houston. And so it's good to be be home, but quite frankly, it never left, because wherever there's a stage, the art is at home in the city of Houston. So welcome back. Let's do what we do, but let's not do it the way it used to. Let's now build forward. Let's be greater. And I hope that for every performance in the city of Houston when it relates to the arts, that it will be so loud and people will invest in the arts like never before. So let's give and give and give again. And I want to thank you for your giving spirit in the city of Houston. The best is yet to come for us. Thanks very much.